Hey, what's up guys, I'm Silent Core and welcome back to my Red Dead series, your source for all the latest news and updates. Alright, so today we have some new details to go over from Rockstar themselves regarding a new camera that's going to be available to purchase in the update next week. Now I'm sure you guys are aware Rockstar have announced a massive new DLC that will include one new role to the game around naturalism. They haven't announced exactly what this DLC is going to be called yet, so I'm just going to refer to it as the Naturalist DLC for now. Today Rockstar posted a new Newswire article, and in here they featured some screenshots that were taken in-game by some talented in-game photographers, and they also included in this article some details of new items we can purchase with the update next week. So they said, recently shared on the Red Dead photography subreddit, these incredible photos of frontier life were captured and edited by the talented Capt Galahad, who goes by Fimbum1v1 tier, I don't know how to pronounce that name, on Twitter, and he is a member of the skilled RDR Shots collective. As a prolific photo mode artist, it's not the first time his photography has been featured here on the Newswire. For more stunning shots, be sure to check out his social club page, and as part of Tuesday's update to Red Dead Online, look out for a new advanced camera in the Wheeler, Rawson & Co. catalogue that offers improved features like increased mobility when capturing photographs, a set of filters, and more. Increased mobility most likely refers to having the ability to move around while having the camera interface up. The camera we currently have, you kind of have to actually exit out of the camera to move or change position, and then you have to bring the camera back up again, whereas being able to move while having it up would definitely make things easier to position. I also want to highlight a post by Spidervice, one of the admins at GTA forums, and he said that he doesn't believe this camera update will be a fully fledged photo mode, but with a free cam, but he does think it will include likely a panoramic view. And the panoramic shot would probably be done in a very similar way to the way your iPhone works, where you start at one end and you kind of drag your mouse or your controller over, and the photo would kind of stitch it all up into one big long panoramic view. I think it's highly likely we'll also be meeting Albert Mason again. He was the wildlife photographer we met in the single player. We had to save him from quite a few dangerous situations as he was taking pictures of very dangerous wildlife. So it looks like photography is going to be a fairly major focus for this next DLC. I can imagine the new advanced camera that's available to purchase might work quite similar to the binoculars you can purchase when you've progressed in the collector role, and you can have an upgraded set of binoculars where you can see collectibles in the distance when you use them. It's basically just an upgraded set of equipment you can buy. So I can imagine this would work quite similar, where you have your normal camera and you can purchase the upgrade for it. Now personally, I'm not too interested in taking pictures in game myself, but I do appreciate the photography side of things. You know, I do follow the subreddit, and there's a lot of talented people in there posting some really cool shots that they get in game. So there is a section of the player base that I'm sure are going to be super happy with this photography update. So next up, let's talk about how the Naturalist role will actually fit into the structure of roles currently in Red Dead Online. So at the moment, we basically have three main roles and different tiers of those roles. So we have the Collector, we have the Bounty Hunter, and the Trader. Now these are essentially tier 1 roles. They all cost the same amount to get started in, 15 gold bars, and then the Moonshiners DLC, this fit as basically a tier 2 to the Trader role. That's why the Moonshiner role had a prerequisite to be level 5 in the Trader role, and it also had a higher upfront cost to get started as it was a tier 2 role. Now Rockstar have discussed in interviews that they want to expand the roles they already have, so it's highly likely that the Naturalist role will be a tier 2 role. Obviously it doesn't really make much sense for a Naturalist to be a progression of a Bounty Hunter, and it's much more likely to be the tier 2 of the Collector role. Now obviously this is just speculation on my part. The Naturalist DLC could go on to be a completely new tier 1 role. However, as from the interviews, Rockstar have expressed an interest in building on the roles they've already given us. An interesting observation from Rockstar's Naturalist DLC announcement post, they actually included there they're going to be including some exciting new extensions and augmentations to an existing role in Red Dead Online. They don't specify here what role this could be, but the Collector role is the only one they've previously mentioned that they have plans to add further variety to. Now it's an interesting choice of words here, especially the word augmentation to a role. It doesn't really ring as a nerf, but you have to remember how Rockstar word their previous nerfs. When they halved the price of fish in the game, they actually called that a rebalance. When they halved the price of pelts in the game, they called that fixing a glitch because pelts weren't supposed to be worth that much. When Rockstar tried to previously nerf the collector role and add more cycles, make the spawns a lot harder to find, they described it as a role improvement in the patch notes. The good news is, it doesn't sound like both of these updates will be happening at once, so obviously next week on Tuesday we have the main Naturalist DLC release, and it sounds like they have another big update planned for Red Dead Online later in the year that's going to do that new extension and new augmentation to an existing role. Now you have to remember the collector role is currently the best way to make money in Red Dead Online. It so far defeats any other money making method in the game. So if Rockstar were to release this Naturalist DLC along with a nerf to the collector role, it could totally change the reception of this update, so I think that's most likely why Rockstar has decided to separate these updates and give us a new DLC and then later down the road patch the old one. And check this out, this is an excerpt from an interview Rockstar did with Polygon just a few months ago in February of 2020. This is the last time Rockstar really spoke out about what they were working on. They said, in addition, previously introduced roles are going to get upgrades and love from the devs. We'd love to keep adding new collections and additional variety to collector gameplay, eventually adding the next step, much in the same way that the Moonshiner is the evolution of the Trader. One idea we really want to explore is the idea of posse members each finding a distinctly different part of an item that when brought together forms the collectible you can log in your collection. Another huge hint Rockstar gave us was just posted 1 month before this interview when they posted a newswire thanking all the players for their record-breaking holiday season. In this newswire post, Rockstar said, as we have hinted at in the past, the world of Red Dead Online will continue to grow in 2020 as we expand the concept of frontier pursuits with additional roles, new missions, and many more significant upgrades to come. And you might notice that the words hinted at are actually hyperlinked to an interview that Rockstar did with VG247. So when they say hinted at, they are basically telling us exactly what they're working on. And in this interview with VG247, that was where Rockstar discussed a future role they'd love to work on and expand, which is photography. Rockstar said photography and allowing players to capture their adventures and moments is really important to us, and it's something we've established the community love. And the hints don't just end there. Just a few months, Rockstar shared on social media some in-game photography captured by real photographers who were stuck inside due to quarantine and decided to take to the game to do their photography instead of in real life. Photographer Craig 6th Street Under Whitehead, for example, has posted a series of his photos on Instagram. As a way to stay sane while stuck indoors, I've joined in with a few who are using Red Dead Redemption 2 and Saint Denis as their surrogate city for the next few weeks. It's pretty tricky chasing in-game light that moves at the in-game pace, the photographer notes. He's also posted an attractive silhouette of a Saint Denis resident riding cart through his cobbled alleyways with a brooding sky above and an American flag fluttered behind. And then not to mention, we've had a whole bunch of hints from Rockstar Insider, TesFunds too, on the next role being a photographer role, and that this role is also going to include an update to animal spawns since they have been broken for quite some time now. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we know so far about the photography and also the naturalist role. I did want to make this video. I've seen a lot of people saying they're relieved that it's a naturalist update and not a photographer update, and I think it's important that you guys, understand how big photography is going to be with this update, and it's quite likely that the naturalist role will be all about taking pictures. Now, even if you're not interested in the photography side of things, I'm sure the addition of the Trapper and also legendary animals will be enough extra content there to keep everybody satisfied. And the fact that they have described this update as being a massive update really goes to show there should be quite a few different parts to this update, even though it's just one role. Of course, do let me know what you guys think down in the comments. We really don't have much information at all on this update that's going to be releasing in just a few days. In fact, the announcement of this DLC almost seemed kind of like a rushed announcement with not much real substance to it. So there's still a lot of room for speculation, and perhaps Rockstar might release more information over the coming days until it's released. If you want to be the first ones to know about any future breaking information, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching this one all the way to the end, stay safe guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Today's video is brought to you by So You Want to Be a YouTuber. This is your ultimate strategy guide to branding, building viewership momentum, and monetizing a YouTube channel with as little as 1,000 subscribers. It's beautifully printed in full colour and is now available on Amazon paperback and Kindle. Check out the link in the description or search So You Want to Be a YouTuber on your local Amazon store, and you can even preview it for free.